sometimes people will feel a way about you making, I guess, a certain amount off of just wholesaling,
Hmm.
a property, pretty much like you're in and out, like you're not even actually buying the property and fixing it up and selling it back. So
Yeah.
he was just saying that, and this other gentleman that I watched, he was saying something similar to where, it's unfortunate because it's not really their business. They're doing their job, they're getting paid. So it's
Right.
just like it shouldn't matter
Right.
what it is that you're making as an investor,
Right.
on that property.
I got the keys.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Devon Harris, aka I Got the Keys. Today, we're going to have a real quick conversation regarding how to wholesale properties. Now, I did have a previous Zoom call maybe about a week or two ago with another group of individuals who reached out to me directly through Instagram. Basically, I'm having Zoom calls with novice investors who don't really have a good understanding of the flip process in general, or the wholesale process in general. So what I've been doing recently is just having, again, novice investors reach out to me and set up a Zoom call through our website. And by the way, our website is www.harrishomesrei.com. And again, basically, we just have people reaching out to us who really just need an overall explanation as far as how to go about wholesaling property. So today, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and send over a link over to one of the persons who reached out to me directly through Instagram. And guys, I can do the same for anybody who has or who wants more information regarding how to really dig into actually wholesaling properties in the state of Georgia. Yo, Victoria, what's up?
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Everything going all right this morning?
Yes, I'm just I might connect my laptop as well to the Zoom, but it'll
Okay,
be a blank screen because my camera isn't working. But anyway.
it's all good. All right. So let's see. So let's see where can we start. So let me ask you. So um, what as far as the wholesaling process goes, do you have any questions you want me to answer before I get started with the process in general?
Um, no, I think as we go along, I'll probably pop up with some questions
Okay,
for you.
cool. All right, so we'll just go ahead and dive right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and this is the exact process I would take as far as me locating a property to wholesale, and then reaching out to Justin's group as far as you know, marketing that property and trying to get it sold to one of the end buyers.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on Zillow, right, and let's find a potential deal. So I already have a lot of little accounts set up on Zillow. I like to set it up at which, whenever a property comes on market, I'm notified immediately, so that
Okay.
and it's really a time game too. So there's a lot of people out here wholesaling properties or trying to get them on the market or under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So the sooner you reach out to the agent and let them know, hey, I'm interested, the better it is for you. That way you can go ahead and get the property under contract and then go on about the rest of the process.
Okay.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Cool. All
The
right.
White House. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm just gonna bring up a little search, save search I have applied on Zillow, and basically this allows me to look at properties that fit my specific criteria as far as what I think would be a good wholesale, right?
Okay.
So let's see, let's just find an example property here.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, they're all new.
yeah, I know, right? There's a whole bunch on market right now. So let's see. I'm gonna go to a saved property instead of us just looking at all the new ones, because that
Mm-hmm.
way I already have a little bit of information saved up on these. Okay, so here goes a good one right here. 1085 Walnut Creek Lane. I actually have a property right around the corner, so I'll probably offer on this one. But here's what you would do. So we see here that the property is being asked for. They're asking 125,000 for this, right?
Okay.
So what I would do first is I would take this address and I'm going to run the comps.
Okay.
You familiar with that process?
Through MLS?
Through the MLS.
I've never done it, but I know that's what is recommended, but I've never done it before.
All right. So two things. I'm gonna share the credentials for you to sign on to the FMLS, right?
Okay.
And then I'm also gonna share a video walkthrough that shows you how to run comps through the FMLS.
Okay. Well, let me grab my just had my pen. One moment.
Man, I'm surprised you write stuff down. I haven't written something down in a minute other than signing
Really?
contracts.
Yeah, I have to remember anything.
Oh no, I feel you. Also, I have this recorded, so I'm going to send this to you as well, just so you can just go back through and sort of follow what I do.
Okay. So should I just follow you and go on FMLS?
Yeah, either or, whichever is
Okay.
easiest for you. Like I said, I'll have this recorded, so in the event you don't have it down, you just look at this recording again.
Watch back. Okay.
So this is the FMLS, FMLS.com. I'll send this website to you, and I'll also have the credentials that I'll send over to you as well. Okay.
Yes. Please and thank you.
So once you sign in, you're going to go to products and then matrix. Right.
Okay.
It's going to pop up another screen just like this. Once you're in here, you'll go to search, then residential, because we're looking to get information regarding single family homes.
Okay.
Okay, and again, don't stress if I'm moving too fast or if you haven't got the
Yeah, I can
direction.
watch it. I can watch it back.
You can just play it back. All right. So what I like to do is I'm going to search for closed properties within a 6-month closed time frame, 180 days. And I want to see properties that close within a 1-mile radius of our target address, just like that. Right?
Okay.
So we're going to be searching on our map 1-mile radius of this property here, just to see what house is sold within the last 6 months. Right? I know it's a 3-bedroom too, so furthermore, I'm going to add that to our details as far as what's being searched. Then we'll search, right? So looking at this, we show here that we have a lot of properties that have sold within a 6-month time frame, similar to this property on Walnut Creek. As a matter of fact, here's my property that I just sold. It's literally right around the corner.
Looks good.
Yeah, it was a real cool and fast flip. I mean, this took us 3 weeks to renovate. And
wow, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it was an awesome turnout. So but looking at that, so looking at, I like to look at properties that are similar, right? So look, we see that this is also a ranch style home, right? It looks exactly like this house, somewhat of, right?
Yeah.
Garage, well, this has a 1-car garage, but it's a ranch style. It's a little bit smaller. It's about 1,100 square feet. I think our property was around 1,300 or 1,400 square feet. Yeah, 1,300 square feet here.
Okay.
Let's see. I think this was built in 89. And looking at the comp, ours was also 89. So, based off things such as the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the year built, and the size of the property, I would think this would be a comparable for this property here, right? Because they're pretty much similar. They're darn near similar. So we know that we have one comp for $180,000, right?
Okay.
Let's look at 2 more properties. Let's see. Okay, so this is also a ranch style property, right? It's a 97 build, so it's within 10 years of our target. Now it's about 5, maybe 600 square feet bigger, right?
Okay.
Also a 3-2. So it's a ranch. Because it's a ranch, I would think this would be another comparable that we could sort of add to our numbers. So we have a one for 100 that sold for 180 and another for 170, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to find one more that I can sort of compare it to. Here goes another ranch built in 99. It recently sold for 165. It's a 1,500 square feet, 1 story, built in 99, 3-2. So basically, all you would do, I'm gonna take my calculator here. So I know that these first three, well, let's see. I know that these first two are comparables, right? So I'm going to take 180,000 plus 171, right?
Mhm.
Plus 165. So all those together come out to 516.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to divide that by 3. So we got an average of 172. So we know that we could at least turn around and resell this property between like 170 and 180.
Okay.
That's how you run your comps. Did that make any sense at all?
Yeah, to find the average,
Right,
and
right. That's basically
what you would get for it.
right. That's all you're doing. And it's
Mhm.
important to do these things because for the end buyer, me, the investor, this is something that I will look at. So whenever you market the property, let's say you do actually get the property under contract, right? Whenever you market the property to your end buyers, this is all the information you want to share with them. Hey guys, I have this property under contract for 125. Based on the comparables, I know we can resell it for about 170, 175, right?
Okay.
And that's pretty much how you would go about uh, running the comparables. So once you have the comps,
Mhm.
okay. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to figure out what's the next step I would take. All right. So once I run the comps and I find out, hey, you know what? I got my number as far as what I'm gonna resell it for. What's the potential profit I can get out of this? Right. So this is another breakdown that I want to show you. Not a lot of
Okay.
wholesalers get too deep into because all they're worrying about is the money. But again, to be a successful wholesaler, you want to give all the gems to the end buyer so they won't have to go and do all the work. You want to provide all this information to them, right?
Okay.
So here's a cool little app I use called Deal Check. This allows me to analyze deals. So I'm just gonna put in the
Okay.
information. Yeah, you can go ahead and download it whenever you get a chance. This makes things a little bit easier.
Okay. So let me pull that up.
All right. So looking at my property analysis here, I'm just gonna plug in all the numbers. So we purchased in the property. Let's say we do actually stick with a 125 purchase price.
Mhm.
And based off what we just researched as far as the comparables go, I know that I can resell it for, let's just say, about 175.
Okay.
Right. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna do all this math. All this you won't like you won't necessarily have to know all this good stuff, but I just like to go through all the details as far as what I would do as far as wholesaling and trying to resell it.
It just gives more of a cushion to the buyer
Right, right. The more
instead of them
information you have,
wondering. Okay.
yep, the more information you have, the better. All right, so this would be $100,000 loan from my lender, and all this good stuff is the stuff you really want to know about, especially since you're trying to push towards flipping houses. This is good stuff you'll eventually need to remember, as far as your numbers. So you remember before we talked, you mentioned numbers. These are the numbers we're talking about, from the comparables to your after repair value to your loan amount to your profits, right?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say this will take about $20,000. All right. So just looking at my projections, my analysis, let's say we did end up buying it for 125,000
Mhm.
and we only resold it for 175, we would profit about $15,000, right?
Okay.
So that's just
Okay.
a little something you could provide to your end buyer. It's not mandatory whatsoever. All right. So let's go ahead and just jump into the process. This is the
Okay.
part. This is the part that you would typically do whenever you do find a property.
Okay.
All right. All right, so here's our property address. Next, we would find the agent email address or phone number, right?
Okay.
So typically, their phone number is going to be listed on here. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's why, it kind of makes sense because I was, based off of what I was looking at, all the information, I was honestly thinking otherwise, like as far as, you know, um, doing the minimum, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
and then just shooting it out. But it makes sense that if you do, the comps, which I don't think takes doesn't take that long.
Nah.
And it's not a complicated process either from what I've seen.
All right.
I would have to do it like once or twice to really, because I'm like, hands-on. And then once I do it once or twice, I got it.
Yeah. And I mean,
So,
it's real quick.
yeah.
I'm telling you, it's really quick. It gets easier as you go through the process.
Yeah, of course. And I can imagine that it would too. I think my thing is just, I think my thing is just finding a sweet spot with wording, I guess,
Mm.
to, and creating my like perfect, if there's even such thing, little script that I'm
Oh, your
going to
spill.
be sending out. But yeah, exactly, because I definitely understand the basis of it, and that is majority of it. But like you said, you have to incentivize sometimes when it comes to these, well, all the time, pretty much when it comes to these agents, because they're just like, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
There's
just
some real
like,
sharks out here too.
absolutely. And, just like with, something that I saw in the video too, which I saw on another video, because, when you were saying about, you can like, look up this stuff on YouTube as well. I was even looking up some things on YouTube, and something that was repeated that Justin had said too is that sometimes people will feel a way about you making, I guess, a certain amount off of just wholesaling,
Mm-hmm.
a property, pretty much like you're in and out, like you're not even actually buying the property and fixing it up and selling it back. So
Yeah.
he was just saying that, and this other gentleman that I watched, he was saying something similar to where, it's unfortunate because it's not really their business. They're doing their job, they're getting paid. So it's
Right.
just like it shouldn't matter
Right.
what it is that you're making as an investor, on
Right.
that property.
Yeah. At the
But,
end of the day, if they're not cool with it, that's all right. Somebody else will be willing to work with you. But if they're actually buying properties, I mean, it should be nothing. You're already getting the property at a discounted price.
yeah,
Um, that should be something that and that's really negotiation. That's all it is.
yeah,
I've had several deals where the wholesalers being extremely greedy, and I would hit them with the look, I'll let you know right now, I'll buy the house from you, but I'm not gonna give you $5,000 for this house. You either want 2 stacks or you gonna walk away with nothing, right?
true. That's true. That makes sense. I had actually, it just popped up in my head. If you see something that's like on Zillow or Redfin or what have you that is pending, does that mean that you should just keep on scrolling, or is there any
That's a
or is
great
there like a
question.
poss? Yeah.
That's a great question. No, I personally think you should offer as long as the property doesn't say closed, send offers
Mhm.
over. Because I can't tell you how many times a house goes under contract and then a week
Mhm.
later it's back on market because the buyer's financing fell through or whatever the case. Um,
Okay.
so I sort of a lot of agents like to have backup offers. So anytime I see a property that I have my eyes on and it goes under contract, I
Mhm.
basically still reach out to the agent and I let them know, hey, we're very much willing to work with you as a backup offer. I'll give you
Okay.
exactly what your current buyer is giving you now in the event their financing falls through.
Okay. Let me write that down. That makes sense. And I asked that because I did have this really bomb property saved.
Okay.
It was in Riverdale. I mean, it was so nice. It was like across the water and everything.
Yeah.
And it was an investment project, but
Okay.
it wouldn't have required much. And I went back today and it was pending. So I just
Yep.
felt,
Yeah, they move
yeah, so
fast.
that's why I was thinking like, is that like a complete loss
It's not
or
a
should I?
complete loss. Like I said,
Okay.
I still I'll probably take 1 or 2 days out the week just to send a plethora of offers. I don't know if Justin may have mentioned this to you, but I think
Hmm.
the number one rule to this game is volume, right? You want to
Okay.
offer on as many properties as possible. The more opportunities you create for yourself, the better off you'll be as far as actually succeeding with something. So if
That
you
makes sense.
if you out here offering on 10, 20 houses, 1 or 2 of these houses you probably gonna get a deal on, right?
True.
Right. So
True.
you keep that going. Offer on as many as possible because you're gonna get a lot of no's, maybes. you're going to be stirred along in a certain direction, thinking something's going to happen and it's not going to happen.
And then it don't.
And it don't. So then you want to have something else to work with right after that. So the more you're wasting time, the less opportunity you have. So the more doors you have, the more opportunity you're creating for yourself.
True. That makes sense. Yeah, and I thought about that too. You know, volume. It's like if you keep throwing the ball at a hoop, one
Yes.
of them will go
One of them
in.
going to sink, man. And one of them may
One of
be a
them will
three. One of them going to be a
three.
jumper, man. For real. It's going to be a swish.
Exactly. And that's something that I was thinking about because I'm just like, you know, because I'm a I'm a very strong analyzer, but at the same time, I can be overthinker. So I'm thinking like, is this even worth it? Like, should I even, you know, this, that, and that? And sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah,
I
man.
think that's what I'm realizing in this field. Like, if
Okay.
you see it, just jump on it. You work out all the semantics later. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just get your foot in the door.
Exactly. Get your feet
So
wet. It don't
yeah,
matter
exactly.
how intimidating or how risky it is. If you just jump, just take that leap of faith, you'll figure
Mm-hmm.
everything out as it comes and goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm realizing that. So, like since last night, I've been thinking about it, and I do, you know, like you have, like how you have saved properties. I do that too. I've
Mm.
done that. So, I'm definitely today. What my game plan is to finish tweaking that little script that I have. And then I was definitely gonna send it out. I mean, and the thing about it is that another thing too is that because it's holidays,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like how because first of all the office is closed. So
Yeah.
you know, that's something that I was thinking about too. So it would, yeah, I mean I definitely, of course, I'm gonna still put it in the group if I can lock something down
Yeah.
within like the next couple of days. But you know, I was just wondering how does that go on around holiday time? I know agents are always working.
Yeah. Asians, oh yeah, we're constantly working. There's never an off day. As far as like submitting deals to the office, yeah, you would just have to wait for them to get back. But pretty much everyone they would shoot the deals out to, they're also in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So I would still just follow protocol, send over the information to Bonita and gang.
Okay.
Furthermore, send over everything to the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And although that WhatsApp group, there's a lot of buyers in that group. It's still a good practice to, search for your own buyers as well. So you probably see on Instagram,
True.
like I have posts here and there where I'm like, yeah, I mean, look, here goes a conversation between me and the wholesaler. If you guys have off-market properties, hit your boy up. I can do
Okay.
this. We can have the same conversation. So that way, that's a way for me to build wholesalers or even buyers. You never know who you're going to run into as far as an active investor. So it's really important to sort of network.
True.
That's pretty much that's how I get most of my deals today. People just be hitting me up with a deal, or even buyers. People see the type of properties that I wholesale, and
Mm-hmm.
once I market them through like Facebook or Instagram or Craigslist or whatever, they see this and they add me and they keep up with the properties that I'm dishing out. So I think networking is also
Mm.
key. So don't I
Okay,
don't
I
don't
didn't even think about Craigslist.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Look, my first two sales was on Craigslist 2 years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Never met the
Wow.
person. Never met him. It was a lady through. This was back when I lived in Birmingham at the time. That I
Okay.
found a property for. And I reached out to the seller by cold calling.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know I'll buy your house for $7,000. Uh, I put it on Craigslist. Maybe a day or two later, someone reached out. They told me they buy it for $9,500. I made a quick 1,500 stack, or not 1,500, but about 2,000, 2,500,
Yeah.
maybe about 2,500.
25. Mm-hmm.
Just like that. That was my
Oh
first sale.
wow. Yeah, I definitely am gonna use that as a resource as well. Craigslist, it's so funny because Craigslist at one time was like the spot, but
Oh
it just
yeah.
kind of like it seems like it just faded into the background over time.
Yeah, there's more
but yeah, that's
platforms.
actually a huge resource. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, plenty of agents still to this day use Craigslist. As a matter of fact, the last two houses that I bought were through Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah, because again, wholesalers they utilize Craigslist, and
Mm.
I just we hop on Craigslist, we see a good house for a good price, we negotiate, And it's pretty much the same process, except you don't have to deal with any agents.
Yeah, and that's something else too. With seeing or purchasing a house, when it says that it's for sale by owner,
Mhm.
as opposed to it being bank owned or whatever the case may be. I mean, is the process pretty much the same?
Yeah, exact same process minus these all the fees. There's commission fees associated with a MLS or marketed property.
Okay.
But ideally, and that's why a lot of people, owners, try to avoid or sell the property themselves to avoid
Mm-hmm.
paying out a 4 or 6% commission. So I mean, that's almost 10 stacks, depending on what you're selling the property for,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So they sell it themselves. They can advertise it. Okay. So
yeah,
the ones
absolutely.
that say for sale by owner that are okay.
9 times out of 10, those are actual owners. Some wholesalers do a for sale by owner just to get some traffic. They technically couldn't do that. That's illegal because it's not their property. They just have equitable interest in the property. So people
Mm.
find loopholes. I mean, it's a way of being creative. There's always ways. There's ways for you to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to change the process as far as wholesaling or flipping goes. But it's
Okay.
always smart to sort of take an idea that's already working and sort of
Mm-hmm.
create it so it works better for you,
Tweak it a little bit.
right?
Okay.
That's
Mm-hmm.
and that's totally fine. I mean, that happens all the time. You see it happen all the time with apps like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Back in the day, we had MySpace and Bebo and all
Trust
this
me, I
stuff.
know.
And
I
you
know.
looking nowadays, everything is pretty much the same thing, but better. So there's nothing wrong with taking an ideal and sort of twisting it and tweaking it so it works better for you. Um,
True.
so there may be a process. The only thing you need to do is really grab a good understanding of the wholesaler flip process, and then tweak it so it works best for you. So there's different ways to make money as long as you actually out here grinding and trying to figure it out for yourself.
I seen on your page when it said, oh well, the ad about how, this field is like booming, but there's actually not a lot of people,
Yeah,
surprisingly.
because people are
Like,
afraid, man. People are afraid to invest in money. But you'll buy a 40 or 50 thousand dollar car where you're making $600 monthly payments for the next 5, 10 years, right? What's wrong with that?
yeah,
You can
yeah,
easily put in that
that's
same
true.
amount of money, save up a little bit of money, right, and throw that investment and make double of that in a matter of 2 or 3 months.
True, very
People,
true.
I just think it's a niche that people are starting to grab a better understanding of it, but there's still a lot of analysis paralysis. I'm not going to stunt. I was at that point a year ago. Um,
Okay.
I was just wholesaling. I would have never thought to start flipping until the pandemic happened,
Mm,
right? So we
yeah.
we dove in.
Yeah, exactly. And you would think that it would, and every kind of, event or, traumatic experience or disaster or whatever, everything affects, I feel,
Right.
the real estate market. And this, I don't, because of the fact that I don't think that, besides the recession, I don't think anything like this has ever happened really to, you know, America in I don't know how long. So it's just like
Yeah.
everyone's trying to figure out like how would something like the pandemic affect, real estate and selling houses and buying houses. Like I don't think it would stop anyone from buying houses though. But
If
I understand how
anything,
the financial portion of it could affect that.
it made it better. This,
Mm-hmm.
this pandemic specifically, yeah. I mean, just like you mentioned, the world is going through many world disasters or pandemics or
Oh
epidemics,
yeah.
right? But this one specifically, I think personally, it just made everything better. Yeah, we have a lot of people losing jobs, not able to pay rent and all that good stuff. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you still got people who, you know, if anything, they're at home more. They want to find
Mm-hmm.
somewhere they can actually stay at home and live comfortably, right?
True.
And that's basically what that's exactly what we've been seeing. The real estate market has sped up. It's gotten better. I mean, this year alone, the flip margins have been insane, and I'm proud.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm proud to be part of that category as far as is getting a taste of those profits. Within the
Mm.
last 4 or 5 months alone, I mean, we've gone through 3 or 4 flips, right?
Wow.
And I haven't seen any issues selling. We haven't had any issues yet. Every property that we placed on market has remained on market for at most 1 week tops.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That's
so like
nothing.
just like that, that's nothing.
That's
So
nothing.
I think the biggest thing to it, people are afraid, sure, but I think it's one of those things where the more you start to learn about the process and familiarize yourself with how everything works, the better off you are to go ahead and take that leap of faith and go ahead and start getting your hands dirty a bit.
That's true. Because I mean, it's all about, honestly, it's all about confidence. Because just like I told you the first time, I was just like, feeling the complete opposite of how I should be right now,
Yeah,
doing this. Because I'm like, because for some reason, I didn't clock into the fact that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
thinking to myself, like, how in the world am I going to get started with doing this house flipping? Like, oh my gosh, like this is the end.
Yeah, no, don't think like that. If anything, it's incentive. Like, man, you know what? I just spent 5,000. You know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and actually do something because if not, I've wasted money, right?
Hmm.
So I think at least for myself, that's the perspective I thought of it. I just spent this money. Now I actually gotta, I gotta put some work in so I can make that back and then
Make
some,
it back at the very minimum. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what we did. I moved to Atlanta last year, actually about a month ago last year. As soon as we touched feet out here in Buckhead, I got to work. I started watching Justin's videos. I started networking with a lot of the different mentees, asking them questions as far as how things work. And
Hmm.
I literally used Justin's or even I knew how to wholesale prior to meeting him. Again, me myself personally, I bought into the mentorship for the buyers because that's the most difficult part of it all.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
anybody you can get a house under contract with ease. I mean, you can go and make an offer on the house right now, telling them you give them full asking cash, and they'll be like, "Bet, let's go ahead and sign the paperwork." The difficult part is when you actually go out there and try to locate a buyer. And that's where a lot of people, wholesalers, mess up,
Hmm. And you're
right?
an agent too, so you have both sides of it.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about it. That's the only reason why I got
Yeah.
my license. I use my license as a tool. I don't really care for helping people out buying or selling their house. Now I will do that. I'm not going to say I'm
Hmm.
not going to do that. But as for
No,
me,
I
it's like,
understand what you. Yeah, it's just a tool. Yeah.
yeah,
Everyone can. I mean, at the end of the day, you have it, so you can, whichever way you want to think of it, or use it as motivation for yourself.
hmm,
Then why not? You know
exactly,
what I mean? I can dig that.
for sure. So Victoria, now
Hmm.
that we spoke about the process in general, does it make any sense as far as how to go about wholesaling?
Yes. So my first step, yeah, like that. I think that's what it was. Is just understanding. It's like I had like all the information,
Yeah.
but I needed to have a better clarification on how to organize them. You know
Yes.
what I mean? As far as what I need to do first, what I need to do second, what I need to do third, that kind of thing. So, and I think that's what was confusing me because I'm trying to figure out like what do I do first.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it makes a lot more sense
Okay.
now. So yeah, first off, obviously finding a deal.
Yeah. I did
Um,
the deal, and you have to make
yeah,
sure it's a deal.
yeah,
A lot of people will be like, "Yeah, I had this deal," and then you actually look at the numbers and whatnot, and there's no deal.
true, true, and that comes with running the comp.
That comes to
I
running the
think,
comps. You
yeah,
have to be. You don't have to be exact with the numbers, but you want to have some type of ideal so that your buyer is going to have an understanding of what type of deal it is. So, let's say you get a house under contract for 100,000, and you let
hmm,
everybody know, "Hey, I got the house under contract for 100." You can easily resell this based on the comps for 180. Everybody's gonna be like,
okay,
"Oh shoot, okay, hold up now. All right, give me the details on it." But let's say
exactly.
you have a house that you get for 125 and you can only resell it for 160. Nobody's gonna work with that, right? And then right then
Mm,
and there, it'd be cool to get it under contract just to test it out. But then once you see the comps and blast it out, if nobody's saying anything to you, that's a good idea, a general idea of you need to go ahead and probably let it go.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. It's just a matter of them making sure that they can actually do something with it.
Yes.
Okay.
So real quick, walk me through the process just so I could feel comfortable enough with you going through the
Okay.
process.
It's not going to be perfect.
It's all right. Look, this is why we're here. This is why we're here.
But okay, so first I would find a deal.
Find a deal.
Then I would go on MLS and I can look for similar deals in the area.
Right.
Or around that same price point, I guess,
right.
in order to add them up and then find the average that you would make after renovations.
Yep, after repairing the house.
Okay, so after the repair, and then see, that's why I write things down.
That's okay.
But,
okay.
And then after that, you would write up your. Then I guess you would. Well, first of all, you need to get it, I would think, under contract first before you run the comps, or do you do the comps before under contract?
Yeah, you definitely want to get your comps first so that you can understand if it's an actual deal for you to work with or not. So you don't want to find a property, then try to get it under contract without knowing the details of it.
Okay.
You end up doing that. So let's say you find a house, you get it under contract, and then you figure after you run your numbers, you're like, oh well, I can't. There's no money to be made off of it. So essentially, now I'm just wasting time.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you want to do your homework first prior to actually touching base with the agent. And again, all this, once you start to get familiarize yourself with the process, everything just happens just like that. That's another reason why I have that app, Deal Check, because that helps me along with the numbers.
Yeah, I'm actually on it right now. Just looking at it.
Trial and everything.
So after you figure out and after you figure out all the information and you do the comps and you realize like, okay, well, this is a good deal.
Right.
Then you put together all the information, like you said, as far as the house price or the purchase price. Then you would put all the details as far as what you could make off of it after repair, the due diligence date, earnest money.
Yeah.
That's necessary within a certain amount of days. And the closing date you said that you solidified.
Yep.
And the sales agreement.
Yep. And all that stuff's going to be on your purchase and sale agreement anyway.
Okay.
But that's just the information you would provide to Justin and Benita and them so they can get the deal blasted out for you.
Okay.
Right.
As far as so the actual comps would go to the group, to the people that are actually going to
to end up buying it. So that again, that it's not mandatory, but me being an actual buyer, I would want, if you're wholesaling a property, I want to know why you're wholesaling it. So all right, you got a deal. Okay, why is it a deal? So you're buying it for a low price. Oh, sweet. What's the comps on it?
Okay.
But you want to be sure you're in the ballpark as far as what those numbers actually are. There's a lot, because there's a lot of wholesalers who don't know what they're doing as far as running the comps, and so you often find people thinking they have a deal, but it's not actually a deal because the numbers don't make sense.
They don't make sense.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't fret if like I said, they don't have to be exact. In most cases, I mean, you really don't necessarily need to send out that ARV or the comps, but again, just to make the process better for you, it'll be easier if you do have it there just to grab someone's attention.
Okay. Yeah, because ultimately, that makes sense. And then after that, you would. So after you send that out, as far as getting the, you have to get it under contract first.
You got to get it. I was waiting for you to say that.
You have to get it under contract first. So you have to, once you run the comps and it makes sense, then that's when you send out, your little script, and then to the actual agent and incentivize if you have to, in order to get their attention. As far as them being your agent, I guess, on both sides.
Right.
So that they would get full commission.
Right.
And then after that, after that they would create and send over the sales agreement.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And if they accept it, pretty much just move on. You blast it out. So.
Okay.
So again, all it is find a deal. Make sure it's a deal. Get it under contract. Blast it out. Try to find a buyer.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
And even if it's pending, still send it out because you could be a backup offer.
Yeah, even if it's pending, if you think it's a good deal, get it under contract, or at least let them know, hey, I'm interested in this house. I see it's pending, but I would love to be a backup offer. Here it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use that one today. Amongst the, I'm gonna have to use that one today because I was so disappointed.
And I'll be disappointed. So that's going to be the next thing I spoke on with you as far as just communicating with your agent. So in addition to emailing, so I send the email out first just to throw it out there, right?
Okay.
And then I actually have conversation with the agent. That's important. That way you can sort of grow a rapport with them and let them know your intentions, grow a relationship with that person, right? Just let them know you're not bullshitting. Hey, Desari, my name's Victoria. I'm calling about your property on Walnut Creek. Is it still available? Yeah, it's still available. What you got? Yeah. Well, listen, I'm an investor. I just worked on the property down the road. This would make an excellent addition to our portfolio. I wanted to see if it would be okay if I can make a cash offer on your property for $125,000. Would that be possible? Sorry. And she'll probably be like, yeah, this, that, we have it. And you can really, there's no perfect conversation. You just basically, the way I treat it is as if I'm out at the bar or whatever, and I'm having a conversation with some random person. And we're talking about something I happen to enjoy talking about.
Okay.
Right? So you want to be as natural as possible when you're having that conversation. As just
completely, I see what you're saying. Like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, don't be weird. Like, hey, I'm a wholesaler trying to sell your property. No. Don't give too much information. Don't talk too much. Don't Right. But you just build that rapport. Right. And it's okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you saying?
I was going to say, it's okay to mess up. That's totally fine. You want to mess up because if you're not messing up, you're not doing it right. There's no way for you to learn. Right?
True.
So you're going to mess up. I'm going to let you know that right now. It's okay to mess up. But as you start to go through each call and familiarize yourself with the conversation, you start to notice that a lot of the calls are the exact same. This is the exact same. That's why we have a script.
They go the same way. Exactly. Because you couldn't have a script if the baseline wasn't the same.
I can't make it up. Have you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No. I know the movie. I know.
Crazy. No,
all right, I'll watch it tonight.
I'm just playing with you. I like watching entrepreneurial movies like that just to give me a push, a little motivation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know I've seen it past a million times. I just never actually clicked it, but I'll watch it tonight.
No, it's all good. But if you ever do decide to watch it, you'll notice on there, and this was pretty much what I was referencing. They had scripts. The dude gave his employees scripts.
Okay.
As far as just to give you a background about his story, dude was a multi-millionaire through stock investing. He was a stockbroker. So he would give his employees scripts as far as what to say to each client whenever they made the phone call. All they had to do is have that confidence and build that rapport with each client. As long as they noticed that they knew what they were doing and what they were talking about, basically being sharks, they would make money. And that's basically the same thing Justin has for us. If you don't have that script, I can give it to you, but basically just look at that script. And you don't have to be verbatim with it. You want to change it around here.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But you want to switch it up I see what you're
just grow comfortable, get comfortable with that process. And once you start going through a lot of conversations, it'll get easier and easier and eventually you get to that point where you you have your own script. You're doing what feels comfortable to you and what works best with you.
Exactly. You don't, yeah. And that's the thing. Confidence usually gets rid of nervousness or gets rid of like, you know, like I've seen the videos on how, one of the videos I was watching, like on how he just like improvised the whole time.
Yeah.
Like even if it's something that maybe that one time just happened to be out of the blue or just different. It's just like, well, you know how to improvise and kind of just keep it going. You know what I mean? But that comes with experience.
Yeah, it comes with the experience. As long as you do your due diligence, do your homework. There's not a lot, and there's not a lot of things that you need to know about the property other than like what they're selling it for and other things about as far as like the property disclosures, maybe if there's any issues with the property. Or a lot of the times they're going to ask if you've seen the house.
Yeah, I've seen that. To like where you have to kind of like finesse it to where it's like, oh yeah, I've seen the house already.
Yeah, you can sort of maybe
or you know, there
bit.
happened to be an agent there showing it, so I was just kind of
snuck
my way in there.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing Justin taught me was because I'm very hands on, so I like to get out there and move. You know what I'm saying? I would often go to houses even when I didn't have them on the contract just to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. And it's funny you say that because I promise you I have thought about it too. Because I'm just like, Riverdale's only like maybe 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in any 303 can't be more than 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I really could just go over there and just see.
Just because.
What's going on exactly, just because, and kind of get, you know, familiarized with being in that environment, I guess, because when it comes to flipping, you're going to be there. Well, yeah, you're going to be there anyway as far as contract, especially if it's local, I would think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind going out there, physically seeing what needs to be done.
I got you like then. That's what you're trying to do too?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 2 in escrow right now. So when we start renovations, I got one in, I got a house I'm about to buy in Jonesboro, and I have another one in Decatur. So we're going to be closing maybe on the 4th. Once we start work, I'll hit you up, and you can just simply, you know, sort of shadow me as far as what's going along with the project.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
I know Justin, he used to do that time from time, but dude's so busy now, it's hard to get in touch with him.
Yeah, that's what, because he was saying that too, and I'm just like, he's like, yeah, just call me whenever, you know, you see that I'm out. So I'm just like, what are the chances are you gonna actually answer your phone if you out there mowing lawns and throwing stuff in dumpsters? You know, so I'm just like, we're not gonna really have the opportunity to go out there and see you work. So
and that's why it's important to have office days. Like I still have a full-time job myself. I'm about to fire them, but you know, I still find time to you know, do calls like this because I do have people I work with as far as you know, showing them how to flip houses.
Yes, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, whenever you're, you know, like I said, looking to you said one in Duluth?
No, so I got one in I'll have one in Decatur and Jonesboro.
Okay. Okay. So that's either or. They're both probably about the same distance. I mean, it doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter as long as it's not in Savannah. We'll fine.
No, that's too far. Yeah, once we close on those, I'll hit you up and we can just sort of schedule time for you to come out there and meet us.
Definitely. I'd love to see how it works.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty smooth process. Now, the reason why I love wholesaling so much is because it sort of introduces you to the flip game if you're doing it right. So that's really why I sort of started the conversation out, showing you the whole rundown as far as how the numbers work, because a lot of wholesalers are being taught the strategy without numbers, and wholesaling is a numbers game.
Yeah, right? It is. I've noticed that it is very much so, which, like I said, once again, makes sense. It does. But I'm honestly more than ready to get in there, and I'm gonna do my homework today, send out whatever I need to, because that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, should I do email or should I do call?
Do them both.
I'll do Okay.
Just
I'll do.
I don't know. That just works best for me. You know, I have
Okay.
something on paper for them, and then furthermore, I've had a conversation with you as well. If they're not answering, I leave a voicemail and I'll shoot a text just to show how serious I am.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'll just go on MLS, which
Oh yeah,
like I know I'll get the thing from you
I'm gonna go ahead
for
and send
that.
that to you right now. That way I don't forget it because I forget about stuff all the time.
No, I feel you. Trust me. Let me see if I can pull something real quick.
And
Mm.
while I'm looking for that, um, did you have any other questions that I'd never touched base on with you about?
Um, no, I think I think that's everything. I think I'm pretty well informed. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Like as
Yeah,
far as getting it done.
yeah. I mean, at this point,
um,
like I said, it's you have all the information. It's just a matter of simply taking action and this learning from your mistakes and this continuing to get forward.
yeah, exactly. And as far as like the one thing also that I was wondering is what is a super box?
Oh yeah, so Supra is a lockbox. So
So
you
it's the
have
same
to,
thing?
yeah, somewhat of. So it's an electronic lockbox that only agents have access to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like
Okay.
a big old blue box on the door. Office 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. So if you ever run into an instance where um, a property has a super lockbox, that means
Hmm.
that there's going to have to be an agent that accesses the property with the buyer. So
Oh,
if that ever
okay.
happens, you would actually have to reach out to either one of us at the office or maybe even the agent that you're working with on that property.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. Okay, yeah, because okay, I just wanted to ensure that I knew that because I just kept seeing. Okay, I got your information just now.
There you go. So
Okay.
that's the logon information for FMLS.
Okay.
Um, let me see. There was a
Okay,
couple
yeah,
other
just got
things.
it.
Yeah, so I'll also send over a video for you that walks you through how to run the comps.
Okay. Yes,
And
please.
that way you can sort of familiarize yourself with that process. Furthermore, I'll send over that YouTube link that shows you how to create the LLC. You can do it online.
Yeah, I got to take care of that too after I do this,
Yeah, it's not
and
mandatory, but this is something I would do. Just
it makes
just the
sense.
basics.
Yeah, it makes sense to do it rather, like I said, especially once you get into multiple properties or you start doing like, or when I actually start doing the whole flipping process and things like that,
Right.
of course, I'm going to just want to have something safely and securely under that company name rather than, my personal information and things like that. And it feels more official.
Facts. It is definitely
it
official. And it's a little bit more
feels
professional as far as like investing wise. People see a business name instead of your
exactly
personal name.
rather than just, and that's another reason why too. It's just like, it kind of gives you that extra ounce of feeling
Right.
like legitimate
Right.
or like you said, taken seriously,
Exactly.
so.
You got it. Okay, Victoria. You sure you
Mhm.
don't have any other questions?
Um, no, I think I'm well informed. I'm gonna do my first few steps, and then after that, if anything crazy pops up that I didn't think of, which I made sure I did because I wrote some stuff down, but I asked them all, then I'll definitely shoot a message your way. I
Okay.
will.
Yeah. Yeah, you got my number. Save my
I'll
number. Hit me up whenever. We can have another Zoom call, or if you find that Jensen's not answering your questions, again, you can
absolutely.
feel more than um I'll be more than happy to, get with you again and answer any questions you have. I think you'll be able to see this video I sort of.
Okay. Yes, definitely. So, okay. So, I'm gonna get started on that now. I'm gonna actually finish. I'm actually. I forgot I was getting carpets installed today.
Oh, so, look, I had a slow start today too. I woke up late.
Yeah, I totally forgot I was getting carpets installed today, so they just came bombarding my meeting. But so yeah, I'm gonna get them situated and then I'll get started on the homework.
Yes, homework. Okay.
Yes.
That's well, listen, it was nice to meet you.
Lovely meeting you too.
Yeah, like I said, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll hit you up right after everything settles down over here.
And oh, by the way, I had this recorded, so I'll either with your
Yes, I was
permission,
gonna say.
of course, I could either because I usually post these on YouTube and whatnot. Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Or
that's
or
fine.
would okay, cool.
That's
All right,
fine. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, because there was some things I didn't get to write down, so I'm definitely gonna watch this back anyway.
cool. All
Yeah.
right, that'll work then.
Uh,
All right,
Thank you
Victoria,
so
go
much
ahead,
for
get
your
to work.
time and your
You
help. I
got it.
appreciate it.
You got it. Go ahead and make this money. Don't be
Yes, sir.
discouraged.
I will, and I will definitely. You'll know when I make my first dollar. For real. I
Bet.
appreciate you.
No problem. Okay, you enjoy the rest of your day and happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I got the keys, keys, keys.